Hello everybody, today I'm going to be taking you along with me to complete an art assignment. Basically, I have to make a sculpture with 100 or more of one object. And so I chose some post-its. I may have gone a bit overboard. I did get 800, but I might not use all of them, we'll see. I don't really have a plan, so we're just going to have to wing it. But make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's just get right into the video. Okay, so I've kind of made like a mini prototype of what I want to do. So I think I want to fold these all in half and then glue them together like this in hope of kind of making like a ring of these and then maybe like another one on top. But I think it's time to just get started. So as you can see, there are 3 colors in the pack, and so I decided to start with the green one because it was the biggest one. So to make each piece, I started off by folding it in half, and then I used a bit of tape to tape it shut, and then I creased the edge so that it became the shape I wanted. So I started off with making 30 because I wasn't really sure how big that was going to make the ring, and so then I started gluing them together, and I just used hot glue for this. And I basically just stacked them on top of each other, making sure that the tape side was always at the bottom and that they're all facing the same direction. So I realized that that was only about halfway that I wanted to go, so I ended up making 30 more so that I would have a total of 60. So yes, as you can imagine, this did take a lot of time, but luckily it was super mindless and repetitive, so I just watched and listened to a bunch of things. And by now I was sick of this green color, so I just wanted to quickly finish this up so I could move on to a new color. So I glued them all together. And it was getting harder to glue on because of how thick it was getting, but it was finally becoming a length I wanted, so I was happy about that. And here's me gluing the ends together to make the very first ring and the biggest ring. And so now we are moving on to the middle ring, which I decided to use blue for. And I was debating between using 30 or 40, but I thought it'd be safer to just go with 40, and then if I didn't use them, then at least I wouldn't have to go back like I did last time. And honestly, these went by so much faster because I had gotten pretty good at folding these and putting the tape on pretty quickly. And I found the most efficient thing to do was to cut all the tape beforehand, and then I could just grab it and put it on instead of having to cut a piece of tape every time. But here we are gluing the blue together, and I decided to use hot glue because I thought it would be the best stick, and I also didn't have time to wait for each layer to dry if I just used like Elmer's glue or something. But you'd be surprised how much hot glue I use. I think I used like 3 or 4 sticks for the whole project, but it was definitely worth it, so stick around till the end to see how it turns out. But here we are at the final stretch, so I just glued the last 2 together, and there is the second ring done. And onto the very last ring, which is the pink. And for this one, I only had to use 25 sticky notes. And at this time, I was really just trying to get through this. I'd been working on this for like a few hours, and I kind of just wanted it to end. But luckily this ring was super quick, and this one was definitely my favorite color, so at least that made it a bit more enjoyable. But here we are on the final stretch, finishing up the last few. And this was such a good feeling because I knew I was done with folding these sticky notes. But of course I had to glue these all together, and honestly I thought I would use a lot more sticky notes than I did. But don't worry, I returned the other pack and I will be using all the leftover sticky notes. And so here we are on the home stretch, finishing up this gluing. Here we're gluing the last ring together, and now all that's left to do is assemble the 3 parts. And so my original plan was to stack them, but they fit so well into each other that I thought that might look better. And oh my gosh, look at it, it looks so pretty together, but it definitely needed a base, so here's me struggling to cut out a circle piece of cardboard. Good thing I changed those scissors. And this didn't have to be perfect by any means because it was going on the bottom, but I just put a bunch of hot glue on there so that it would stick. I plopped it on, and then the sculpture was done. Okay, so here is how it turned out. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. It was definitely a little bit tedious and did take a lot of patience and time, but I definitely think it was worth it. I did end up using a total of 125 sticky notes. But yeah, I just brought it in, so now all that's left to do is pray that I get a good grade. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye!